The main goal for so Surya and Veera, the main goal for this session is to bring you guys up to speed for any interview process. Any interview you are going to face, it should not be hard for you. That is the main goal of these sessions. So let us so let us talk something about the points which will help you to answer certain questions during the interview process. And Veera, actually we already have 2 sessions completed, yesterday and day before yesterday. Surya, if you have recorded, you can share the recording with him. Okay. And
yes, sir.
And moreover, I am going to give little glimpse of last 2 sessions to Veera, so that he can also understand the continuation of our conversation. Okay. So
Okay,
Surya, you can also chime in whenever it is required, because you have already participated in 2 sessions, and my understanding is you understand few facts now and you got some time to revise, so you understand what we expect. We means, I mean to say, the industry people. When you go for interview, what the industry people will expect from you, when you go for the interview. Let's check it out. So let me share my screen first. Okay, if I share the entire screen. Okay, share. Let me know if you can see my screen.
yes, sir, I can see.
Right. So
yes, sir.
So Veera, in a quick note, I am not going to go as long as I did last 2 days. It was a whole 30 minutes, 40 minutes session yesterday I took, but today I'm going to just do the recap of those sessions, so that you get to know certain points which we are going to emphasis on and which we are going to discuss about. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So the first point is your knowledge, your resume, and your selling ability. Knowledge means whatever knowledge you have, whatever you have studied, the basics concept should be very clear. Okay, basics should be clear. We as an industry people, we don't expect from you to know everything as a fresher. So you're coming for an interview as a fresher, and we don't expect you to know lots of things, but what we expect you to know, the basic stuffs, the basic of everything you should know, you should be very clear about, right? Your knowledge. Say for example, if I am selecting one database management system, that paper, or say for example Python, so basics of Python should be very clear. Okay, if I ask anything about function, how you assign the value to any variable, all those things should be very clear. These are very basics. Okay, these points should be very clear. I do not expect from you that you write big programs in Python and run the graphics, write the graphical program or something. We don't expect that much. We expect only basic stuffs should be clear, and you should be able to explain that to your interviewer. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is your resume and your communication. The way you communicate, the way you have given information into your resume, that should match with your appearance. You got it? For example, see, for example, if you take Facebook profile of anybody, 99% of people will have different appearance than their original appearance. Okay, if you take social media account, my profile will match with my personality. That is how I maintain, and that is how I recommend everybody to maintain. But in most of the cases, you would notice that your social media profile, if I look at, I will have different perception. But when I meet the people, the perception will be gone. The entire perception will be vanished, because when we write something on social media, when we try to upload our picture in our social media or where lots of people can see, we try to give our best, right? But do we also follow everything, do we also do everything best every day? The answer is no. If I have to put any picture on my social media, I will definitely go ahead and put a nice shirt, pant and tie and everything, and I'll put there. Okay, but do I do these things really on daily basis? No. But I do maintain my dressing sense. I do maintain my communication and my appearance every day, right? So that you understand, right, what I'm trying to say? You got it, right?
Yes, yes, I got it, got it.
Yeah, whatever you write in your resume, it should match with your appearance. When I meet Veera, when I meet Surya, I should be able to see the same picture what I get from your resume. Okay. And now third point is very important point. You have to do some research about your company. The company you are going to attend interview for, you must do some research about that. We will come to that point little later also, but these 3 points you have to keep into your mind. Next, we have already discussed a lot about this being confident and being arrogant. So the thing is, in short, while interview, you have to show the characteristics where you are listening well. If your interviewer is talking, you are listening well. Okay, before answering, take a breath. That is absolutely fine. Do a pause before answering. That is 100% sure. Do some intentional pause. What is intentional pause? I will tell you, I will explain you later. That is a big topic actually, so I don't want to go into that right now. Another thing is speak. You have to pause, understand, and then speak. You should not speak immediately. The question is thrown out. As soon as interview is stopped, you should not start speaking. You have to take a pause for a second and then start. So these kind of things. And another thing is, if you see this side, cutting into the middle, in hurry to express, you should not do at least these 2 things. Say, for example, if your interviewer is asking, hey, do you know Python, how to write a program, addition program in Python? And that is your favorite area, you know that, but you should not be in hurry to answer. Let him complete his question first. Listen carefully, take a pause, and then you start answering. So your interviewer will get some impression that, okay, even though he is confident answering the question, he is also calm. He is not in a hurry to answer, even if he knows the answer. So these things will come with the practice, and we will practice about it, how to overcome the situation. If you are put into that situation, how you can put yourself before interviewer as a confident person, confident candidate. Okay, next one is your biggest failure and how did you handle it. You have to get ready with these answers. What is your biggest failure in your life? That might be your personal, that might be your professional, that might be your educational, that might be your in your friend circle, whatever, your family condition. What is your biggest failure in life? What you understand, you have to think about it and write down some 5-10 lines about it and try to present yourself. This is the the biggest failure I had, or this is the worst situation I was in, and how did you come out of that situation? These kind of things we will definitely do some exercises. And I have contacted few industry people also who will do your mock interview, so that you will have no fear when you go for real interview, right? Whatever the mock interviews you
Yeah.
needed, we will try to arrange and give you that platform where you can express yourself. And later on, whatever the missing parts, we will let you know how to rectify that and how to present yourself in that condition. Okay. Next is, if you are going for an interview as a fresher, what are the qualities we look for as an industry people? That is definitely a confidence, your positive attitude, flexibility, communication, your cooperation, how much goal oriented you are, and how you utilize your intelligence. So this is what we see, and definitely I will explain more into this, all these topics. If needed, I will take another session where we will go through all this, with you, Veera, because Surya has
Okay.
gained lots of knowledge in this one, I believe. And next class we have to do lots of exercises. So before we move, the another point from last two classes are, appearance. Your appearance matters. Your appearance matters. Like whenever you go for interview, you have to go with a smiley face, no matter how long you have been waiting into the queue for your turn, but you have to enter with a smile. You have to show that confidence. Okay. Because your first impression is the last impression. Okay. It doesn't, you do not need to wear tie, but you need to have a smile on your face. Like, you can wear a formal dress, nice formal dress with a smile, nice haircut, and well dressed. Everything should be fine, perfectly fine. It is not needed that you need to go in blazer and coat and tie. No, you can go in quite formal dress with your pleasant, haircut, with your smile. And you should not smile like this guy, you should not enter like this. You should smile like this, and you have to tactfully, you have to, offer handshake. It depends on the situation, whether if they are 6 feet apart, they are sitting on the table, then you cannot offer handshake, right? In that situation, what you need to do, I will let you know in next other sessions. But these are the points you need to, into your mind. Okay, Veera, so far any questions you have?
Nothing, sir. I got all the points.
Okay, so now in order to continue this, the presentation from yesterday, I am going to bring a few questions, right? This is new for Surya also. Okay, so I just gave you little background so that you can, get into the speed, or you can be in, discussion. You can feel that, you are in the discussion. And now,
Okay.
today's thing is, if you are going for any business discussion, they call it business discussion or technical interview or your interview or personal discussion with you. All these terminology they can use, any of this. What does it mean is that might be your technical come HR interview, right? There are chances where they may not ask even a single technical question. Okay. And there are chances they will ask only technical question. It depends on the person who is going to, ask you the questions during interview. Depends on your interviewer, basically. So the first question, what 90% of people will ask, introduce yourself. So I think yesterday I have talked little bit about your introduction, and I asked Surya also to introduce himself. Today I also asked Veera to introduce himself. But to be honest, I was not satisfied with the answers, with the explanation, with the introduction you gave, both of you. That is quite all right. You do not have experience of, facing lots of interviews. I will tell you certain points. which will help you to introduce yourself. And when you introduce yourself, your total personality should come out, right? I when you introduced yourself, I did not know much about you. So you have been given at least you think that what, for one question you will be given 1 minute at least, right? If not 10 minutes, at least 1 minute will be given to you, right, to answer that. And if you
Yes.
if you continue speaking for a minute, how much information you can give it to the person who is asking you the question? How much information you can give? That is what we have to think in that direction. We should not be in the race that I will go through all these questions and I will get the interview done. No, you can crack the interview with by preparing certain questions and by preparing well on certain questions. Sometimes if you need to showcase your personality out of the way, you go ahead and showcase. For example, introduce yourself. So your task is to write down about you, write down about yourself, some 5 lines, 10 lines, and send it to me. Send it to me. It's not that you are going to, because Surya completed his introduction in 29 seconds, and Veera, you completed your introduction in 11 seconds. I have already marked here. So this is not the introduction. This is, you are just telling your name and what you are doing. That's it. No. Introduction means lots of information, right? I should get an impression that, okay, if I give a chance, this guy will talk a lot. That is how we try to find people like that, who talks more, who has ability to turn wrong things into right way, right? We want people like that. We literally don't want people who is not talkative. They have to talk. And person who are not asking question, that is also not good for the industry, right? So you develop the characteristics where you should be able to, you can ask questions for any condition. There is no question which is silly in this world, even though you can ask anything from anybody, if chance is given. If you attend any seminar, any classes, anything, you will be given chance to ask some question. Don't leave that opportunity. You have to go ahead and ask. So like, if you see that, I have given here some number 11, question number 11, right? These are the questions,
Yes,
these
sir.
12 questions I have filtered out from, hundreds of interviews. I have so far I would have interviewed almost 200 to 300 people, right from the fresher to 12 years, 15 years or 20 years of experience people. I have already interviewed them. So based on those interviews, this is my personal experience, extract of those experience. I have, these 12 questions are very important. And out of these 12, if you see last 12th is technical questions. So here you can again, have 5-10 questions that I will give you in next session, what those 5-6 questions might be. So here, if you see that, number 11, that is the last question, when you, during an interview, it will be last question. You want to ask anything, you will be given chance to ask question. So don't leave that opportunity. I will come to that later, number 11. So introduction, you got it right. What you have to do, you have to write some lines about that and send it to me, okay, before tomorrow's session. Okay,
Okay, sir.
take some time, 5 to 10 minutes. And now, what is your strongest part? Okay, what is your strongest part? What you have to explain in this one, what you have to explain. So you have to think, what is your strength? What is your strength? You have to explain, and you have to explain using one story. Now I am pulling that PowerPoint presentation back, and I'm going back to this slide where I explained you, right, how your biggest failure and how did you handle it, right? So you have to, if somebody is asking what is your strongest part, that is an opportunity where you can explain about your strength and your ability to handle the situation. If you are in some bad situation ever, then how did you handle? You have to, so that if you explain how did you handle that situation, that will tell the interviewer, okay, this guy is good, he can handle that kind of situation. So that will give us some good impression on that interviewer, right? So we will practice all those questions one by one, and you both have to answer these questions. How to answer, I have already told you in previous sessions, you can go through the recordings, but if you are making some mistake, I will correct you there. And when you attend the mock interviews, trust me, you will get phenomenal confidence. You will get very good confidence after those mock interviews. You will have no fear talking to any of the interviewers or any of the company, in any of the companies, right? If you go for an interview for any company, you will have no fear to talk to them. Okay, come on, I will talk, I will explain. This kind of attitude we want. So why do you want to work in company? Say for you are going for an interview in Wipro, right? Just replace this with Wipro. Company name is Wipro. So Surya, so why do you want to
Yes,
work
sir.
in Wipro?
Sir.
No, I am not putting you on the spot. You have to write down some answers, 3, 4, 5 lines,
Okay,
whatever
sir.
you have. You take your time, think about these questions, and just write it down. If you need any help, call me. If not, in next session, I will clarify everything. Another question
Okay,
is,
sir.
why should we choose you? Right? So here, if you
Yeah.
read this question very carefully, why should we choose you? So this is also giving you some opportunity to explain about your strengths, right? If somebody is not, say for your interview is not asking this question number 2, they are not asking, they are just asking, why should we choose you? So you have to explain with example that how difficult situation, how did you handle? You can tell that, in my project time, I was doing that project and that project was not going well, and we needed to acquire some knowledge on this areas. I just went ahead and contacted few people and gained that knowledge and completed that project. So some stories you have to make from your past, from your real life. You have to make some narrations in the proper way, so that people can understand you well. Okay, so now another question you think about this, what are your weakness? So anybody they first of all they'll say, why they're asking about my weakness, why should I tell my weakness? You should not. Do you think that you should tell your weakness during the interview or to your interviewer? Surya and Veera, tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They can get a bit of that.
No, what will you say? I'm asking you as an interviewer, what are your weaknesses?
I want to say the answer for what is my weakness, sir.
Yes.
Mm,
So
my
think
weakness, I'm
about it.
emotional and
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm emotional and sometimes I'll be lazy, sir. That's my weakness.
Okay. So, whatever answer you give, you have to answer very tactfully, because as you said, I'm emotional. So next time interviewer can ask, he can shoot the next question. If you're emotional, then, and if, your family demands, you will definitely go there. And at the same time, your project is also demanding you, then what will you do? If you're emotional, if there is some problem in family, how will you handle that situation? How will you handle? So if you do not elaborate if you just say I'm emotional, then I will have some perception. But if you elaborate, I'm emotional, but I want to handle the things in this way. I was put into that situation, but my emotion I kept aside for quite some time to complete the job, or to complete this project, or to complete this subject, to complete the exam. Emotions are good. As I'm just telling you, right, because you have made that point emotional. So there might be lots of questions coming, on top of your answer. So we have to be careful and be descriptive while answering the question. Okay. Now, I will post you these questions in WhatsApp group also. So you have to think about it, write it down. And
I took a screenshot, sir.
Okay, that's fine. And Veera, you also take some screenshot so that you can think about it
Okay,
and
sir.
discuss into the next session. And
Okay, sir. Got it.
these questions are very important. I will definitely help you to answer, but before that, I want you to work little bit on these topics and come up with your answers. Can you handle pressure? How you handle stress? Teamwork. What do you think about teamwork? Why it is needed? Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Right? So that here you will have opportunity to express yourself. What are the plans you have? You should definitely explain, definitely talk at least 2 to 3 minutes about this yourself in five years. And do you want to ask anything after this interview session is over? Almost, they will give you some opportunity. Hey, if you want to ask, we have been asking lots of questions from you. If you want to ask something, you can ask us. So that opportunity you should not leave. You have to ask. And yesterday or today also I talked about do some little research about the company. In my first slide, if you remember, I told about do some research about the company, right? Little research about the IT industry, your company. So here, as soon as they tell you, do you want to ask anything, just if you have done research about that company, you can shoot 5-10 questions to him. Please tell me why your company did not do well in last quarter, and what exactly happened. What was the reason the Wipro did not do good in last quarter? But I'm just telling you this example. Actually, Wipro might have done good in last quarter, but I'm telling you. Then you can ask something like that. Your technical team strength gone down in last quarter. Why? So these kind of questions, if you do research, it will automatically come from you, right? And if you ask this kind of question, which interviewer, I am sure this kind of question interviewer also cannot answer you perfectly, because they also need to know in and out about their company. But when they work in any project, they will not have time to do lots of research about his company also, right? Because that is not their area. They are doing technical work for their company, but somebody else is handling finance. So why, when they have time to go and dig into the finance, until or unless he is very interested knowing about his company, right? So these are the things. If you ask questions, you will leave a good impression on anybody. If your teacher, your lecturer, your professor, or your interviewer, anybody, you will leave a good impression on. Okay. So technical questions, what are the probable technical questions might be, I will discuss in next session. But these 11 questions you need to be working on. You work on. Tomorrow we are going to discuss and how to answer. If there is something I need to add, I will add, and you just prepare, write it down. You don't prepare verbally, you have to write it down. Introduce yourself, first question, write it down, half page. How will you answer? When I ask tomorrow, you have to just vomit. Okay, this is what, this is what, this is what, this is just. You should not take some 11 questions, 11 minutes. Surya, 11 minutes, Veera. 22-minute session we can have without me talking. You got it? Now Veera okay, must be thinking that, this guy is talking more, right? Surya knows me for a longer time, but Veera must be thinking this guy is not at all stopping. He's talking. But okay, so Veera, I hope you have some idea about, the basics of the interview preparation for IT industry now, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay, so
Actually, my mic is quite not working, sir. That's issue, sir. That's why I'm not responding. I am facing some tech issues, sir.
Okay. Okay, so Surya and Veera, so your next point is tomorrow we will meet with all these, at least these 11 answers ready. Okay, do some homework.
Okay, sir.
And along with your technical preparation, do these 11 questions, and tomorrow we will meet. And before, if you can send those answers before 4 o'clock, that will be good. Actually, I will have some time to review. Okay,
Sir, tomorrow, when will you be free, sir?
tomorrow is
because Veera will go for work for only at 7 o'clock.
okay.
So we can change the time tomorrow.
I'm now